Hi everyone, Sarah here. How are you doing today? We're going to do a talk on oaths and vows today. Now I have already done this one, so if you've seen it before, sorry. It's just that I've updated it, so you might want to use the sayings in this new one. So what happens when we leave our body, when we pass over? We take our mind with us, that is our belief system and our thoughts. And then in between our lives, we review our life that we've just had, and a lot of the stuff we will get rid of. But if we have shame or guilt, unforgiveness, feelings of unworthiness, that kind of thing, we may hang on to some oaths or vows because we haven't forgiven ourselves and we don't feel worthy and deserving enough to let them go. Then they come with you lifetime after lifetime, and you're not actually aware that they're there, but they are affecting you. So if you have had a lifetime of a monk or a nun, for example, you may have taken an oath or vow of chastity, and that means in this lifetime you might have trouble bringing in a sexual partner, to have a sexual relationship with. You may have taken an oath or vow of poverty, so you may have trouble having abundance in this lifetime. You may have taken one of obedience, and so in this lifetime you feel certain obligations to an organization or a church, for example. You may have taken one of allegiance, and so you may be drawn to helping a certain organization, person or country, etc. There's also wedding vows that we take in this lifetime, and in these wedding vows we vow to be together until death do us part. Now, even though people get divorced, that energy commitment still remains. But there's one vow that is much stronger than the others, and I apologize to any Buddhists that listen to this talk, but it's called the Bodhisattva vow. And it's a vow that Buddhist monks take and certain Buddhists take as a path to enlightenment. But it's actually very limiting. So with the Bodhisattva vow, you are actually vowing to serve people and vowing to save people, amongst other things. But what this translates to that you are left on earth till the end. Everybody else is ascending, but you have agreed to stay until everybody else has ascended above you. And also it means that you take the hardest path. It means that you take on other people's stuff because you feel the need to save and rescue people. So it's incredibly limiting. And the thing that makes it worse than the other ones is that a normal vow that a monk or a nun would take is for that lifetime and that situation. But with the Bodhisattva vow, you are actually vowing to take it forward to all your future lifetimes. So it will affect you in all future lifetimes, whether you like it or not, until you are aware of it. So if you feel you are in that pattern, it might be worth your while. I can't say my words right. It might be worth your while, that's what I'm trying to say, releasing this Bodhisattva vow. Okay, so I have taken this Bodhisattva vow. This is my story. I've taken this Bodhisattva vow as a Buddhist monk in another lifetime. And in this lifetime, I've worked with lots of people. I've been a chiropractor for a long time. And so I hear a lot of people suffering. And I always felt this need to take on their stuff. And I knew this wasn't helping them or me. And because me taking it on is also obviously dumping a whole lot of stuff on me, but also other people's stuff is what they have, so they can learn from it and grow from it. So taking it from them actually isn't benefiting them either. So I knew it wasn't helping either of us, but there would be this big internal argument going on. A part of me would be going, no, I don't want to do this, and another part would be, I couldn't hear what it was saying, but I knew there was some kind of conversation going on, and in the end I could hear myself go, oh, okay, fine, and then I would just do it. And it wasn't till I started becoming very mindful that in the end I could hear this little voice saying, don't forget the Bodhisattva vow. And it was actually coming from my body. Don't forget the Bodhisattva vow. You agree to the Bodhisattva vow. And then I would take on the other people's suffering. So when I started clearing myself and healing myself, what I eventually saw was these Buddha heads leaving my body, because we put things in ourselves as they look like symbols. So the symbol for this, for me, was a Buddha head. And as I've been clearing my stuff, most of these Buddha heads have gone. I've pretty much finished with it, but there's still a little bit remaining. Now you might think, because of this Bodhisattva vow, you're taking it on in future lifetimes, you actually could well have a belief that you're not allowed to get rid of it. But I'm just letting you know that Spirit, Jesus, have been working with me a lot to help me release it. So you definitely are allowed to get rid of it, and it is definitely being encouraged by Spirit for you to let it go. It is actually your birthright to have joy, love, peace, abundance, ease in this lifetime. You know, we're not supposed to be here to struggle. So you are definitely allowed to get rid of it. I have some sayings that you can use to help you. But first of all, I want to mention soul contracts too. So we came into this life with certain things that we agreed to. We agreed to be born in a certain body, to a certain family, maybe a certain religion, or maybe a certain culture, to a certain country. And then we have certain life experiences that we have agreed to for our learning and growth. Now, some of these life experiences are easy and pleasant, and some can be very challenging. And if we have a lot of unforgiveness, guilt and shame, it may be that we are hanging on to some of these soul contracts that aren't actually serving our highest good. Because once you've learned the lessons, you can then upgrade your soul contract, and you don't need to have as much of the hard, challenging lessons. And I think what normally happens is that your being is always communicating with Spirit and with your higher self, and releasing these contracts as you go, or upgrading them. But as I say, certain things like unforgiveness and guilt and shame might just keep you tied into those more challenging contracts. So I also have a saying here that you can do once a week, just so you can upgrade your soul contracts. So in the sayings, you're going to be claiming your sovereignty. And your sovereignty is actually you stating that you're standing in your power, that you are admitting you are a powerful being, which you are. You're not just a body, you are a powerful being. Okay, so with the soul contracts, the saying is, you need to say this with authority, because don't forget, you're saying you're a powerful being, so you can't say, with the power of God that I am. It has to be strong. With the power of God that I am. Okay? So we start off, we just say, I call upon the archangels of the highest love and light to assist me. With the power of God that I am, I claim my sovereignty. I am a sovereign being. I intend, choose, and pray to upgrade all my soul contracts that are not for the highest good of all, or are not in alignment with my highest truth. I command this in accordance with divine will. And you repeat that 3 times, and then you say, and so it is. And I recommend you doing that maybe once a week. It's not something that you keep having to say. And with the vows and oaths, again, with authority, I call upon the archangels of the highest love and light to assist me. With the power of God that I am, I claim my sovereignty. I am a sovereign being. I completely rescind all oaths, vows, pacts, swears, promises and decrees, contracts, agreements or commitments, which are commitments of any shape or form, which are not for my highest good and are not in alignment with my highest truth. I believe these are not real and can no longer affect me. I intend and choose and pray to be completely clear of all their effects and symbology. I command this in accordance with divine will, and so it is. And again, you're going to repeat it. You're going to say that 3 times, and then you say, and so it is at the end. Now this one, I recommend that you do it on a daily basis. I also recommend you do it if you feel that you're being pulled into that path of suffering or taking on somebody else's stuff. Just stop for a minute and say, okay, this could be this vow. This vow actually isn't limiting. Because these vows and oaths, etc., they're not real. Okay, only love is real, and the only limitations are the limitations in your mind. They can only be affecting you if you believe they are affecting you. So if you let go of that belief, if you really believe, okay, it's just a vow and oath and it isn't affecting me anymore, it's not going to be. So as I say, the only limitations are those of your mind. The vows and oaths can't affect you, can't limit you if that is your belief. So if you feel yourself pulled into that, choosing the hard path, choosing that suffering, and taking on another person's stuff, just stop and say, okay, this could well be a vow or oath. It doesn't have to affect me. This doesn't have to limit me. I believe it can't affect me anymore. And then you could repeat the saying then. Now this saying might be something that you need to repeat on a daily basis for many months to finally free yourself of this. But what I would do is just continue saying it until you break free of that cycle of suffering and taking on other people's stuff. Also on my Facebook page, I have talks on forgiveness and guilt and shame. If you feel you need to look at those as well. And so just to let you know also, is something that I keep saying because it's something I'm very passionate about. Please know that there are no sins, okay? You know, people hold themselves in bondage thinking they have sinned, and there are no sins. The original meaning of the word sin was to miss the mark. It doesn't actually mean that you've done something wrong. Earth is a learning school, and as a learning school, anything goes on Earth. And you know, it was actually fairly recently the angels came and sang to me, there's no sins in the world you're in. So it is something that I knew anyway, but it is a belief that I have been trying to clear myself. So please know that's not real. And also there's no karma. Okay, karma is just a belief system, a belief in a reward and punishment system. There is something called the law of cause and effect, which means what you're giving out is eventually going to return to you, but it's not a reward and punishment system. Okay, so you don't have to stay in this cycle of self-punishment. If you think you've done something wrong, Earth is a learning school and anything goes. So it's time to release yourself. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. As I say, look at other talks on forgiveness and self-love and guilt and shame if you feel that you're holding yourself back and limiting yourself. There's also one there on fear, if you feel you need that one too. Okay, much love, many blessings from my heart to yours.